Hey everybody, this video brings us out to Shartlesville, Pennsylvania. Yes, another weird name for a town here in Pennsylvania. We have a lot of those, but the reason why we're in Shartlesville, Pennsylvania today is, well, usually I would say to take a look at something pretty interesting, something pretty neat, but today we actually unfortunately cannot take a look at something pretty interesting and something pretty neat because this closed down in 2021, which is definitely a shame. Although we can take a look at this. Look at the amazing boat here. That's a riverboat just randomly in the middle of that field. I'm going to find out some more information about the riverboat and maybe come back out here and we can take a look at that and talk about that. But again, that's not the reason why we're out here today. We're right off of Interstate 78, again, here in Shartlesville, Pennsylvania, to take a look at something and talk about something that I hold very near and dear to my heart because my dad used to bring me out here all the time when I was a kid. I started bringing my son out here. I came out here with my friends and girlfriends, and I brought my family out here. I loved coming out here all the time. I would usually come out here at least once, maybe twice a year, and it was something that just was absolutely amazing. As somebody who loves roadside attractions and roadside oddities and just history in general, coming out here was something that, again, meant a lot to me and had meant a lot to me ever since I was a very little kid. This actually opened up in 1941 and closed down in 2021, supposedly due to the pandemic, which would make sense. A lot of stuff did unfortunately not make it through the pandemic, especially things that were already kind of hurting. I know a lot of other roadside attractions, a lot of businesses around me that maybe were just kind of struggling. They were just, grasping before the pandemic hit. And then once that pandemic hit, it was the final nail in the coffin to a lot of places, closing a lot of places down because they weren't getting money, they couldn't open up, the government pretty much shut everything down, and places like this were not able to be open and not able to have customers coming in and paying and bringing in money. Thus they weren't able to pay the bills they needed to pay, and they just couldn't make it through the pandemic, which is what I hear happened to this place. I knew they were kind of hurting before that, but supposedly that was what really brought this place to a close, and that is definitely a shame. I wish somebody would have stepped in and maybe donated money. I kind of wish they could have got they gave bailouts to all these banks and all these big multi-billion-dollar businesses. I think little businesses like this should have got bailouts, and little businesses like this should have been the ones to survive and go on forever. We are here again in Shartlesville, Pennsylvania, to talk about Roadside America, which is right down there. Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping maybe we could actually go down there, but it does say private property, no trespassing. I'm not going to go past these gates, even though it would be very, very easy to do so. I mean, you can literally just walk right past these gates. We're not going to do that. We're not going to go past them. I will show you though, past them, but look at that. Right all the way down at the very, very end of this road was Roadside America, which has the greatest name for a roadside attraction. When you think Roadside America, you think of roadside attractions and roadside oddities and things like that. Well, the actual Roadside America was a big model train layout, a huge model train layout created by one man. I believe he actually started, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember what the story was. I read inside. I think he actually started his model train layout in his house and sort of grew and grew and grew till eventually they opened up a whole entire roadside attraction based around his amazing model train layout. Again, opening in 1941. I knew a lot of people who used to come out here when they were kids. My dad would tell me he used to come out here when he was a kid, and then my dad would bring me out here when I was a kid, and I brought my son out here when he was very little. Unfortunately, so little, he does not remember this place at all. He was a little baby the last time I brought him out here. He was born in 2019, so obviously he was very small the last time he was out here. And unfortunately, when they did close down, I was not aware. I did not know they had actually closed down until they actually had completely closed and auctioned everything off. All the different pieces, they actually cut basically the big, huge, giant model train layout. They cut the whole thing into sections and sold them off. So those sections do still exist. People still have them. At least they didn't just tear the whole thing down. They didn't just bulldoze the property down and destroy the model train layout. At least people were able to take some of it home. I did not know about this, unfortunately. I would have loved to have come out here and bought parts of Roadside America, just have a little piece, even if it wasn't a big section, even if they were just selling off a little, I don't know, just a little piece, a little house or something from the model train layouts. I would have taken that home. That would have been pretty awesome to have a little piece of Roadside America forever. And I miss this place dearly. And this is why I'm always saying, when it comes to roadside attractions and little mom and pop places, you have to go to them. Yes, it's great to go to the big corporation chain stores and big, the big businesses and whatnot, but these little businesses like this, you gotta support them. You gotta keep them alive. If you think back to, man, I loved going to that yada 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 place when I was a little kid. I want to go back there. Go back to that place. Check that place out. Give them your hard-earned money because they need it. Places like this, they don't get the traffic they used to. I think people just don't come out to these places as much anymore, unfortunately. When it comes to roadside attractions, roadside oddities, things like that, I see them always hurting because I think it's just not the thing to do. People don't hop in the car on a Sunday and say, hey, Billy Bob, and Susie Joe. I don't know why I chose Billy Bob and Susie Joe as your kids' names, but that's your kids' names now. I feel like they don't just hop into the car and go out to places like this anymore. It's not a thing. It's not a weekend thing to go to the cool roadside attraction. Now it's just stay at home and play video games and whatnot. I don't know. I know I'm sounding like an old man. Those darn kids these days with their video games. Hey, I grew up in the 80s. I played video games, but even though I played video games, I still went to places like this. My family still took me out to really awesome, amazing roadside attractions. I grew up going to places like this, and Roadside America was one of, if not like the coolest roadside attraction ever. And I hate the fact that I can't be taking you guys inside there right now and showing it to you. I hate the fact that I'm not paying them admission to go in there and walk around and show you the amazing model train layout. They would have this train layout, all this like interactive stuff throughout. This buttons you could push and whatnot. It was so cool. And then all of a sudden, every half hour or something like that, the lights would dim and the stars would shine. It'd be basically nighttime, and then an American flag would appear on the wall. I think with an angel or something. I think they were a little religious. An angel would appear on the wall and stuff, and they would start singing like "God Bless America." It was pretty awesome. It was pretty amazing. It was such a cool roadside attraction, and I loved it so much. And I wanted to come out here, talk a little bit about it, and just kind of show off what's left. And this is it. The buildings are still there. The Pennsylvania Dutch Gift Haus is still there as well. It was really cool. Other parts of, I don't think anyway, they were owned. Maybe they were, because they both shut down. So maybe they were owned by the same people. I don't think they were, but I could be wrong about that. But apparently, they also shut down for the same reasons. They were also hurting. That store had been open for a good long while as well. I believe actually that whole entire building had been moved at one point, but the Pennsylvania Dutch Gift Haus was really awesome. They had food in there, and they had like Pennsylvania Deutsch or Dutch, whatever you want to say, gifts and hex signs and all kinds of cool Pennsylvania Deutsch tchotchkes and whatnot. I used to go in there and get hot dogs. Basically, I would go to Roadside America, check out the amazing model train layouts, and then immediately I would always stop at the Pennsylvania Dutch Gift Haus. I would always stop there, and I would always pick up a tchotchke, a souvenir. Actually, they had movies in there at some point. They had VHS and DVDs for sale, which I bought a couple times, but I'd always end up getting a hot dog as well. I'd always get some food. I have pictures of me and my family in there, sitting on the old bar stools, eating hot dogs. I'm glad I have these memories, and I have photos and whatnot. I actually have photos, and I have some videos somewhere at home too, of Roadside America from previous trips when I was out here only a couple of years ago when this was still open and I came out here. So I'm glad I have those pictures. I'm glad I have those videos. In fact, I have one of the cutest pictures I have of me and my son is actually right over there. I'm holding his hand, and we're just kind of walking down the road. My wife took the picture of us. It's a great picture. One of my favorite pictures of me and my son when he was very little. Maybe he was like 2 years old at the time. There used to be a big statue of two Amish, an Amish husband and an Amish wife. They were these huge, giant, like fiberglass statues. Apparently that statue does still exist. They moved it. I'm about to find out where. I did hear it was maybe vandalized by fire. So hopefully they'll restore that and get it back up and everything like that. I'll find out where that is, and I'll take you guys out to see that, because I want to see those amazing, kind of creepy Amish statues. Again, they were huge, and they kind of like loomed over you. I think they had their hands out or something. It was kind of creepy. They looked like they were about to attack you and eat you. They looked like giant monsters. I'm surprised my son did not run in fear at 2 years old when he saw those giant creatures. But they were cool. They were all, I call them creatures. They were Amish, giant Amish people, but they looked like giant creepy creatures. They were huge, but they were awesome. They had those there. So again, Roadside America here in Shartlesville, Pennsylvania, opened in 1941 and closed down only 2 years ago in 2021 due to being hit by the pandemic and just them not being able to survive and not being able to keep the doors open, which is definitely a shame. And it was really a shame that I did not know they shut down until afterwards, until after they had already shut down and auctioned everything off. I saw an article and I was like, wait, what? They shut, like I was heartbroken. Actually, there's a few times in my life where I've literally felt like, the pain of being heartbroken. And this is one of those times. When I found out Roadside America closed down, it hurt. It literally broke my heart. I was depressed. I was sad. It felt like, I just got broken up with by a girlfriend or something like that. I was actually truly hurt when I found out they had shut down because I had been coming out here since I was a kid. And this place just meant so much to me. So like I said, if you have a place like this that means a lot to you, somewhere that you used to go to a lot as a kid, a cool roadside attraction, some roadside oddity, something like that you used to visit a lot as a kid or as an adult or whatever, to some place that holds a special place in your heart, get out there. Just give them your money, go in, pay the admission, check them out. They need your help. They need to survive. And sadly, this one did not survive. Not enough people were coming out here and checking this place out. They just didn't make it through the pandemic, which is a shame because, again, I loved Roadside America. The actual road signs still do exist down there for it. I'm going to take some photos of them. I'm going to put them up on Instagram. If you guys do not follow me on Instagram, I am Retro Rest Stop on Instagram as well. You can check that out. Again, right down the road. They actually have the big Roadside America road signs telling you, go down the road, check it out. I'm going to take some photos of that. I will post them for you guys. But, all right, so I wanted to show this off to you. If you guys have ever actually been to Roadside America, leave comments down below. Let me know. We actually had a pretty cool video on this. My friend Adam the Woo, he did a whole video on his Daily Woo channel. He did a whole video on Roadside America. If you guys want to go check that out, just Google that. I guess it'd be the Daily Woo Roadside America. Give him a shout out. Let him know I sent you over there. And check out his video of Roadside America. It's a pretty awesome video. He was out here right before they closed down. So if you guys have great memories of Roadside America, if you used to come out here and you used to visit the amazing model train layout, and then, like me, you would get some food at the Pennsylvania Dutch Gift Haus afterwards and do some shopping. If you guys have these great memories of coming out here as a kid, as a teen, as an adult, whatever, leave your comments down below. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your memories of Roadside America and the Pennsylvania Dutch Gift Haus. Definitely a shame they're closed. Shame we can't actually walk down there. I would love to sort of peer through the windows, but we can't do that. Again, private property, no trespassing. Maybe I can find out who owns this property, and maybe they'll be nice enough to let me in here. That'd be pretty awesome. Again, the actual model train layout is gone. It's been sold off. It no longer exists, but how cool would it be to still go inside the actual building? Maybe I can have that, make that happen. I'll make some phone calls. We'll see. But anyway, guys, all right, so wanted to bring you out here. Wanted to just see what was left of this. Pretty awesome that the buildings are still here. They weren't torn down. Honestly, I had no idea if they had been leveled or not. So pretty cool. The buildings are still here. It would be neat if somebody reopen this back up. Put another roadside attraction here. That'd be pretty amazing. But unfortunately, the roadside attraction that once sat inside that house down at the very, very end there, unfortunately, no longer exists. And honestly, the more I talk about it, the more depressed I'm getting. My heart is breaking all over again, thinking that I can't come back out here and that I can't bring my son out here. That's what really hurts me. I want to bring my son. I love taking my son to roadside attractions and stuff like that and building memories with him. And the fact that I can't bring him out here to take a look at this because it no longer exists. And like I said, he was out here. I did bring him out here. He was very little. But the fact that he doesn't remember it because he was so little, that breaks my heart. I love to bring him out here now at the age of 9 so he can remember this and have these great memories like I do of my family and my dad bringing me out here when I was a little kid, how much I used to love checking out Roadside America. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Like I said, if you have memories of Roadside America, leave a comment down below. I want to hear about them, but this is what's left. The buildings are still here. Roadside America and the Pennsylvania Dutch Gift Haus, they're still here. The buildings still stand, but unfortunately, the amazing attraction no longer does. All right, guys. So as always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for a link to Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself retro rest stop t-shirts, pro tees, both from the Spreadshirt and from Patreon to good help supporting the show and keeping the show going. So I really do appreciate that. Again, here in Shartlesville, Pennsylvania, at what once was one of, if not the greatest roadside attraction to ever exist, Roadside America, an amazing giant model train layout. It was epic. It was awesome. And I miss it some. All right, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you do hit that subscribe button or you are subscribed, then I will see you in tomorrow's video. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.